but God's perfect will. Of the God's perfect will. Oh, 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 oh. Come on over, come on over, come on over, come on over, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. God's perfect will, come to God's perfect will, where the business is, come to God's perfect will, if you're looking for a will.
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold.
Hey, sermon, do me a favor. Do me a favor. This passage of scripture, King Solomon was given a Proverbs about how good it is to have favor more than rubies and fine gold. Amen. Favor is better than a good name. But it's good to have a good name. Amen. A good name will give you wealth. Good name will give you a job and an opportunity. Good name will open doors. That's why I tell young folk it's good to have a good name. Paris Hilton ain't Paris Hilton because she was Paris. It was Daddy Hilton that got her the good name. Amen. It's somebody else. One thing about it, my mama had a good reputation in the neighborhood. Amen. And some of the folk in my family did not have the total opposite reputation in the neighborhood. I like my mama name than one of my siblings' name. My mother's name was holy. She fed you. She took care of you. She took no stuff. She loved you. My sibling's name was Boom Boom. I didn't like that name. It was an embarrassing name. I got mad and fought till I found out it was true. But a good name will give you wealth. Let me say something to you. It's better when you come out and do good grades in school, even if you clean the toilet, it's better to have a good reputation. They come to work on time. They work real hard. It's a good name. Good name will give you promotion. Yes. If you're lazy, nobody hire you. If you're always in trouble, a bad name will carry you to poverty. But having favor is better than that. Amen. Fine riches and gold. Solomon knew that, but we don't ask God for favor. We ask God for stuff. But favor, you don't need stuff. You don't need man's approval. You ain't got to sleep with nobody. You ain't got brown nose nobody to get favor. When God give it to you, he give it to you. Favor is a gift. It's gracious. Favor, one thing it give you the advantage that would nobody else have. It shows favoritism, and favor is not fair. You didn't earn favor. It was just given to you. And so if you don't have money, if God would tell this person to give you money, it was favor. If you know you ain't qualified for the job, if God put favor on you, for some reason they'll tell you, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to hire you. That's favor. Favor will help you anticipate danger. Favor will let you know when somebody talking about you, plotting against you, they sit in the woods, they having a meeting on you. Favor will let you know that go right when they know they're waiting for your left, and they want to know how they ducked you out. It's because of favor. Favor is better than anything you can have. And when God gives you favor on your life, no matter what door man shut, it has to be open with favor. No man can shut a door when God gives you favor. And I ask God, my money funny, can you do me a favor? I'm stressed out. God, can you regulate my mind and give me peace? God, can you do me a favor? See, sometimes we got to ask God, God, I know I ain't act right. Even though sometimes you can be on a bar stool, sleep with somebody that's not your mate or your husband or somebody you shouldn't even be with. You can say, God, I'm tired of looking at this joke or this sister. Can you do me a favor? Can you get rid? Can you do me a favor? See, sometimes we can't get rid of certain things out of our life. Now, you know a lot of stuff that we were doing, we couldn't kick the habit. That's why I thank God for grace. And let me say something to you. Sometimes it's good for you to go through some things so you can have grace for other folk when you go through them. Because when you went through, let me say this. What I went through, I got grace for folk. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't gonna look down on nobody. Well, if you would have done right, if you would have, and you know how some folk, maybe if I treat them real good. Some person came to me and had a conversation while the person left them. And they told them, you know, maybe I should have did better. I said, Maybe if I would have loved them more. Well, maybe, why would you say that? Because I did all that and it still ain't working. It's still wrong. And when I asked them why they leaving, they couldn't even tell me. And the person looked at me and said, yeah. I told them all I did, cut, color the hair, glass the draw, and they still left. A man. And they gonna roll on that. You ain't nothing you can do when folk got stuff in their heart. And if folk don't want to be right, they just don't want to be right. No matter what you throw at them, you can give them a mansion, they still wrong. Let me tell folks something. The devil left heaven. How are you going to beat heaven? If Satan can get out of that, he had that. You can't get no better. If the enemy, and not only did he leave, he took a third of them with him. How good you can talk somebody out of heaven? If you can talk and then let me say, if the devil can do that and talk folk out of heaven, guess what? He can talk folk out your house. He can let your children leave you. He can talk in it. If he can do that, there ain't nothing compared to it. And people say, I don't understand. If the devil can do that, he's a bad joker. The Bible says he's a worthy adversary. And if he can talk angels out of heaven, he sure can talk folk out of your house that you treat them right. He can talk your own children out talking bad about you after you fed them. Pay for college. Gave them everything. Free room and board, and they talk about you like a dog. They're going to tell you they don't understand me. I sure don't. I don't understand how I treated you good. Folk tell me that. Folk say he never understood me. I don't understand. I really don't. After I did pay all the bills, treat you good, took care of you, fed you, and all that, I don't understand why you treating me that way. Tell me and explain to me how that work out. Bible said, will you give your children, you know what, instead of them giving them, will you give them rocks when they need eggs? Instead of them giving medicine, will you give them poison? No, no real parent would do that. But folk will do that to you. Amen. Let me say something to you. That's why you love your kids, and people don't understand. Kids are, I know God now because I got the child. Yeah. And even though your child don't act right, you do them a favor. Even though you don't want to give them nothing, because you my kid, because you my son, because you my daughter, I am obligated to bless you anyhow. Yeah. And the only reason I do it because I just love you. If I do it on a report card, all I have to do is what the state obligates me to do. Give you bread and water and somewhere warm to live. All that other stuff, PlayStations, and now they're getting expensive, and tablets and computers and name brand. Oh, no, that's extra. I'm doing you a favor. Because the state say, all I got to do is feed you bread and water and they won't lock me up. I do more than that. And so God do that to us too. We don't deserve nothing we're getting. We don't deserve the things we got from the Lord. God knows I don't deserve to stand up here. And see people saying, I thank God for saving me. You better really thank God for it. And don't be pious when you say, oh, God. And let me say this. When you've been out of stuff so long, you forget how bad you were. Because see, people get messed up with the 20-year sin. You did it 20 years ago and you forgot how you hollering looking at them all nasty, and you know what? They would have been in a choir stand compared to you. But it was so long ago. Now if I put you in that era and that time dealing with that, and you put that compared to this time, boy, they might have been 50, you was 150 what they did. And the only reason you got delivered, it wasn't because God took you out. You went to oblivion with it. You smoked so many joints that your eyes rolled back in your head. You just got tired of it. You probably slept with everything in Baltimore City. You just got tired. You drunk yourself to oblivion. You got tired of it. And the only reason God delivered you because you had to make sure you got sloppy drunk and said on the bar stool, God, can you do me a favor? I'm tired of it. Don't come in here shouting like you were so righteous and you selfly. Then you got tired. God had to let you go indulge in it so bad that you got just tired of it. People don't understand. People say, well, why you left the club? I got tired of it. 1 minute I was dancing and joking and laughing at everybody. I come, all of a sudden the woman that was bad didn't look bad to me no more. The music sound old. I got tired. My back hurt. I'm tired wearing dressing up, looking cute for somebody and meeting, giving everybody my wrong name. I'm tired of going over the mall trying to play like I got money when I don't. I just got tired of it. I said, I'm going home. And ever since I said I'm tired, I'm going home, I never went to the club again. Because God put something in me just to get tired of it. I said, God, can you do me a favor? Can you find me something to do? Because this is boring. And God gave me a ministry to work. And believe me, I ain't bored. There's all excitement always going on in the church. Whether you want it or not. And when you deal with folk, personalities, situations, incidents, accidents, and all kind of dents you get when you deal with folk. But it won't keep you bored. And I find out, I said, God, can you do another favor for me? I'm like Solomon. God, teach me how to deal with your people. And I always say, I'm not Lord over God's inheritance. I said, God, I don't want your inheritance. I don't want to claim it. I don't even want to take it. The reason, sometimes I don't want to deal with it, but because on this earth you put me in this job. I said, God, this is your people. And when I give God people back to God, I feel free. Amen. They say, so-and-so did this. I said, that's God's people. So-and-so said that. That's God's people. They ain't doing, they come to church. That's not my problem. That's God's people. And when you put it where God, it belongs to God, because God of the universe can deal with all that. I can't. See, I know me. I won't be having that grace that God has. I'll put you in hell. And I need to be right along with you. But see, I learned that God knows more than what we know. We don't know the more. That's why I said, God, show me grace with folk. And when you start listening to people, you really, if you've been in the same situation that other folk been in, you start to realize they acting crazy. And some crazy is 10-year-old crazy. That stuff just does not happen to people. When you met them, you just didn't know it was there. See, that's why I'm taking to learn and take a bigger time to find out what people are all about and not their representative they come when they send them to meet me. Because you, when the ambassador come, he got the best suits on. Now, over in your country, it's poor. You know, you got upheaval and uprisings going on. But when they send the ambassador, he know how to eat with his fingers up in the air. He know how to speak the language. He learn your culture. He said, how you doing? And you said, oh, man, that country must be nice. If you go visit a country, you won't want to live there. But guess what? When you meet people, when you first meet your friends or date folk, they send that same ambassador. Hey, how you doing? But inside there is World War.
Hi, I'm Pastor Terry Allen, and if you're looking for a real church, come on out to God's Perfect Will Ministries, where you'll be welcomed with an intimate environment, a spirit-filled atmosphere. The Word of God is preached in love. Also visit us on our website for exciting upcoming events and announcements, and you can join us as a covenant partner. Always remember, God's Perfect Will Ministry, a place where a misfit can fit. Now back to the message.
3. You don't know what you getting when you meet folk. That's why you got to take the time out to learn people and say, God, do me a favor. Give me discernment of what the person's saying behind their words. That's why I tell you to take time to learn people. People will tell on themselves if you don't tell on them for you. Let me say this. Shut your mouth and let folk talk. Stop telling people what you want. Because you didn't go, you going for the okie doke. Well, I see it. You know, I like a man who takes me out and a man who's real. Okay, I'm going to write the notes down. I'll be that man for about 3 months. What else you want? Okay. All right. 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. I like a man to give me flowers. All of a sudden, he come in. I just thought you might like flowers. Oh, girl! Oh, I knew he was the one! Dummy, you told him you want flowers 2 weeks ago. Didn't know he stopped at the rose bush and stole it out of somebody's backyard. But see, you don't know that. See, let me say something to you. You got to be careful of what you dealing with. And you let folk tell you, you ask God for favor every time you do. And even though your money, you can't make your bills. Say, God, do me a favor. Tell me how to handle this little piece of change and pay your bills.
Yes, sir.
God, do me a favor. I need extra. I'm living in lack. And see, when you ask God for a favor, that means you ain't earned it.